Today we are talking about low-calorie condiments. Why? Because dieting can be fucking hard, especially because it just becomes so monotonous. How many times can you have chicken, broccoli, and rice? And that's where condiments can come in and really breathe a breath of fresh air into your diet. Same's true with seasonings, but today I really want to focus on condiments, and we're even gonna get a little bit into salad dressing. The challenge is how do I keep this all in a relatively short period of time? Like, how do I talk about all this in 15 minutes? Because the diet industry has changed so much over the past 10 years. There's so many incredibly good sauces and marinades and salad dressings out there. It's really much easier to follow your diet and at the same time actually taste good. So I'm gonna try to break this down relatively quickly. The first concept I want to introduce is this: not all sauces are created equal when it comes to dieting. So Chick-fil-A sauce, obviously it tastes incredible. The problem is 2 tablespoons is 160 calories. So I want to define for you what I mean as low calorie sauces. I would say a low calorie sauce is anything that has less than 60 calories per 2 tablespoons. Now that's a construct, I made that up, that definition. However, I have helped thousands of people lose weight. I think 30 calories per tablespoon is completely reasonable and it won't blow up your diet. We're being aided today by the help of chicken nuggets. I've got them here in front of me. I'm gonna be tasting some of these sauces. Most of them I've had before, and just for time's sake, I'm gonna go through this kind of quickly, but I'm gonna introduce to you a ton of new products that will hopefully, again, help you adhere to your diet. So the first products that I wanna talk about is actually the company Hughes. I'm gonna talk about Skinny Girl today. I'm gonna talk about Walden Farms. I'm gonna talk about Primal Kitchen, Bolt House. This video is not sponsored by anybody, but this company in particular, I think is really just crushing the sauces, condiments, glazes, the dressings. They're just killing the game. Whenever you look at the back of a bottle, remember, some of them are measured in 1 tablespoon, others are measured in 2 tablespoons. So just keep in mind that when you're looking at how many calories are on the actual dressing. But Hughes, this company, they have this sweet chili dipping sauce. Tastes incredible. Their barbecue sauces, I particularly like the Carolina style barbecue sauce. I love having that with some chicken nuggets. They have this Thai chili sauce. They have Caribbean jerk seasoning. They have steak sauce. They have a ton of different sauces. If you have not tried them out, I really recommend you do. Having said that, with anything that we're gonna talk about today, they have this Clucking Good sauce as an example. This is 100 calories per tablespoon, or per 2 tablespoons. I don't think this is a low calorie sauce. So just, even though I'm recommending Hughes, remember, check the back of the label. Look, and does this actually have 30 calories per tablespoon? And be mindful, are the measurement increment in 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons? But Hughes, can't recommend this company enough. And in general, most of their products, very low calorie, very delicious tasting sauces. So I'm gonna start off with ketchup as the first condiment. We talked about Hughes as a company, but when it comes to ketchup, there's traditional ketchup or there's simply Heinz. They're both 20 calories. I recommend you get the no sugar added Heinz. It tastes just like traditional ketchup, but it has half the calories. This stuff is the bomb. Hughes makes a ketchup as well. It's a little bit less thick, the texture, but dude, it's spicy. It has a kick. So if you want like a spicy ketchup, I actually keep both of these in my pantry because I appreciate them for different things. This is like a spicy ketchup, tastes delicious. This is like your traditional like ketchup. So depending on the mood you're in, both of these are an amazing option. The second condiment I'm gonna talk to you about today is mustard. In general, mustard passes our condiment test of having 30 calories or less per tablespoon. Grey Poupon, it has 5 calories per tablespoon. This honey mustard by Frenchies, oh my God, this stuff is delicious, and it's 10 calories per tablespoon. Most mustards will be low calories, just in general. Like even if you just picked up a random mustard off the shelf, you should always look. But mustard is a great condiment to use while dieting, and traditionally meatheads have always used mustard because of it. I'm gonna talk about this Frenchies for a second. It tastes insane. Like you can take your chicken nugget here, we dip it in the Frenchies. Oh my God. I feel like I'm at Wendy's. It's like so good. I love this company and I love Just Bare, their chicken nuggets. I throw them in the air fryer, I throw them in the oven. Put a little bit of this low calorie mustard on it, this honey mustard. Insane. So any mustard really, look at the back of the label. but they'll be a great condiment to use while dieting. Barbecue sauce. So if we look at something like Sweet Baby Ray's, this is 70 calories per 2 tablespoons. It's not horrible. There's some really abysmal barbecue sauces out there, but I wouldn't consider this, again, this is technically just outside of what we're defining as a low-calorie barbecue sauce. I like Hughes. I really like this sugar-free Carolina-style barbecue sauce. The one thing I'll say is some of the barbecue sauces, it has a little bit of an aftertaste. It's from their erythritol. You can taste it afterwards. It's a sweetening agent. This flavor in particular, though, I don't really taste it, and I love it. There's a little kick to it. Really freaking delicious. I think this is their best barbecue sauce, and if you're on a diet, you love barbecue sauce, I really recommend this. It's great for chicken, it's great for pork, maybe beef, depending on what you're cooking. There are a couple different kinds, but I like the Carolina. Let's talk about steak sauce. A1 steak sauce has 15 calories per tablespoon. There are brands out there like Hughes makes their steak sauce. This is 5 calories. Just go with A1, guys. A1 steak sauce is perfectly fine to have on a diet. There are only certain people in the population who are sodium sensitive, so you do want to be mindful if that's the case, if you have high blood pressure or you have a family history of hypertension. But for most people, you really don't have to be super concerned about your sodium intake. But this A1, I would recommend this actually over the Hughes. Just go with the good old-fashioned steak sauce. It's incredible, it's tried and true. There is a lower calorie option by Hughes, but I like the A1 better. Let's talk about teriyaki. The issue with teriyaki, 40 calories per tablespoon, they're usually pretty high in calories, and even though sodium won't have an impact on your health for most of us, the issue is it can cause water retention, and when you're dieting, it can be very frustrating when you get on the scale. Say you get sushi and you have a bunch of soy sauce, you see that scale go up in weight, it ruins your day. So you do want to, from the standpoint of like, hey, I'm going to be getting on the scale and this could throw off my number, you do want to kind of be mindful of sodium for that reason, even though it isn't a major impact of health. So just something to be mindful of. Obviously, water is different than fat, water is different than muscle, even though muscle has a lot of water in it. Teriyaki can really jack up your numbers because it's very high in sodium. So just be mindful of it. I personally think a better alternative than teriyaki, there's brands out there that actually have the sauce itself. Again, like Hughes, it's 5 calories as opposed to over here. Again, we have 40 calories and it's also got about less than half the amount of sodium. So this has way less sodium. Again, we're not concerned about for health, but because it can cause water retention, way less sodium and way lower in calories. So I would recommend finding an alternative for something like teriyaki. When you talk about soy sauces that are out there, ton of options out there, but I actually prefer coconut aminos for the same reason. Again, it has way less calories, and even though soy sauce is typically low calorie, it would pass. And what we're talking about, soy sauce can jack up your number because of that water retention, and coconut amino acids taste exactly the same and have way less sodium. So that's a great option for soy sauce. The other thing that I want to talk about today is marinades. When we're talking about marinades in general, those are incredible when on a diet. They're so low calorie. So you can marinate your salmon, you can marinate your steak, you can marinate your pork, you can marinate your turkey, you can marinate your chicken. It'll bring a breath of fresh air into your food with very little calories being involved. And I actually picked diet condiments for this. Stubbs has awesome marinades. I've got a beef marinade here. It's soy, garlic, and red pepper. 15 calories per tablespoon. They also have a chicken marinade, which is citrus and onion here, 10 calories. And this is just a random marinade that I know is good that I just pulled off the shelf to kind of highlight the fact that if you look at the bottle of most marinades, they're really a great way to breathe breath of fresh air into either meat or even your rice. Like you could put this over some white rice and just like give it some life, give it some flavor. Take the marinade. I know this is for marinating, but let's just see what this thing tastes like. I've got the chicken marinade here by Stubbs. Let's get it in there. Just get all in those nooks and crannies. Yeah. Man, that's fun. It has a very like citrusy flavor, with at the same time really having some kick to it. That's cool. Okay, another brand that I want to highlight here is Skinny Girl. I have some of their dressings in front of me. We'll talk about dressings in detail towards the end of this video. But Skinny Girl, they also have a Chipotle Ranch, which is really good for dipping or for putting on food like chicken, things, etc. Air frying some chicken, using some Chipotle Ranch to dip it in. They also have an Asian sesame glaze, really good for salmon or for some sort of seafood. I really like the company, and the calories are legitimately low on all of their dressings and sauces. I always look at the back of the label, but in general, they're phenomenal when it comes to calories on them. Another company I think worth noting is Primal Kitchen. I will give you a disclaimer. Some of Primal Kitchen stuff, it sucks. It's just a joke. The calories are too high. For example, I have this ranch dressing here in front of me. It's ranch dressing marinade avocado oil. It's 120 calories. I mean, this is 120 calories per tablespoon. You might as well be just having traditional ranch. It's just good marketing. They throw avocado on there and you're like, oh, it's healthy. Look, it's healthy, sure, but it's still caloric and it still can really fuck up your diet if you're using this dressing. So I will tell you, but I also have their buffalo sauce in front of me here. Again, made with avocado because they throw avocado on every fucking one of these labels. It's 25 calories per tablespoon. This is great. So they're just hit and miss. They are tasty, but they are hit and miss in terms of being low calorie. So just look at the back. Does it have 30 calories or less per tablespoon? But I do like the company. Just be mindful when you're picking them out. Let's talk about hot sauce. Next condiment. So my personal favorite hot sauce, all hot sauces in general, just like mustard, like the OG like diet condiments for like meathead bodybuilders has always been mustard and hot sauce. In general, you know, look at the shelf, spin around, point, pick a hot sauce. It's gonna be within range for calories. I'm just gonna throw this out here though. This bad boy, this hot sauce, sweet habanero, if you have not tried it, it is life-changing. To me, one hot sauce reigns supreme, and this is it. This stuff is so bomb. I haven't always been able to find it in the grocery store. It's hit or miss. You can definitely find it on Amazon, and it is, if you're into hot sauce, this is definitely worth it. So this is just personal preference here, but I really think this is the most delicious tasting hot sauce in the game. Within the hot sauce category, also, I should mention sriracha. This is 0 calories per tablespoon. I don't know if it's 0 calories, if it continued on, like meaning like maybe 2 tablespoons have 5 calories or something like that, but it's very low calorie. This is from Trader Joe's sriracha sauce. This is another great option if you're into hot sauce. It has kind of like a thicker texture. It has like a nice little like, the kick is like different. It's like a little tang with the kick. Great option, great for food. Another like OG diet condiment option. I'm gonna throw out something else here too. Oftentimes I'll make a bowl up of like ground beef, ground chicken, ground turkey with some rice in it. Stan Efferding did this. He called it like the monster mash, and you put some bone broth in it. You can do this with other things as well. You can kind of just put it on like ground meat, bone broth, and it really just softens it up. Obviously it also adds collagen, but it also just like softens the texture, because ground meat, let's face it, especially like very lean ground meat, it's not very moist, so it's kind of dry. So this can put a lot of like taste and fun into it. Kettle and Fire has bone broth. They're great. In this entire container, there's 4 servings. Per serving is 45 calories. So I mean, imagine, like you don't need much more bone broth than this. So it's a low calorie option, less than 60 calories to add to your meat. This is 70 calories for the entire jar. You're clearly not gonna use the entire jar. So again, this falls into the low calorie. I love Epic Bone Broth. They have all these interesting flavors. This is home style savory chicken. Really tastes freaking delicious. Awesome option. And again, I like to use that for ground meat to just kind of soften it up. Before we get into salad dressings, I do just want to throw this out here. If you need mayonnaise, it's 35 calories per tablespoon. This light mayonnaise would be my recommendation. It does not pass our low calorie condiment test. However, people love mayonnaise, and I just wanted to give you an option. Again, I don't recommend this for dieting. It's 35 calories, but it's fine. You can obviously have it in your diet and still lose weight. Don't be fooled by good advertising. See this Chosen Foods classic mayo, 100% pure avocado oil. Oh my God, it's 100 calories per tablespoon. It's super high in calories. It's 3 times the calories of this. So don't fall for marketing. Last condiment, salad dressing. I think the best option in the game is Bolthouse, because it just tastes exactly like real salad dressing. It's thick, it's got that texture that you love. It's creamy, it's made with Greek yogurt, which is why they're able to just have incredible macros on it. 50 calories per tablespoon for chunky blue cheese. Get out of here, and it actually tastes like blue cheese. Classic ranch, 50 calories, and it's not watery. It's like legitimate, thick, tasty ranch. So Bolthouse, I think they've come in, they've taken the game. Walden Farms, one of the original OG low-calorie dressings, 0 calories. Whenever I say that, people are like, what's in it? What's the number one ingredient? The number one ingredient is water. That's the number one ingredient. And when they look at the ingredients, it has to list them in order. It's water, so calm down. Second active ingredient, apple cider vinegar. Next ingredient, salt. So relax. The main ingredients in this are water, but it does have some delicious taste. It's not as good as Bolthouse, but you're also dealing with 0 calories. I particularly like the vinaigrettes. Here's my balsamic. I have this raspberry vinaigrette. I really like those. I'm not gonna get into it in detail, but they also have like sauces. So like if you wanna put this on, I don't know, like Halo Top or something like that, or your Greek yogurt. They have caramel, they have chocolate, they have strawberry. They also have 0 calorie pancake syrup. So they have a lot of different products besides the dressing, but I primarily use them for the dressing. We also talked about Skinny Girl earlier. I think they have some really awesome dressings. Raspberry vinaigrette, fun. Honey Dijon. Honey Dijon is 10 calories per 2 tablespoons. Again, I don't like it as much as Bolthouse, but it is less calories. And I do think it's better tasting than Walden Farms, but not as good tasting as Bolthouse. And the last thing I guess I'll just mention again, Primal Kitchen, be careful. The ranch dressing they have is 120 calories. Hughes is in the game as well. This is French dressing. It's 40 calories per 2 tablespoons. This is French dressing, 40 calories per 2 tablespoons, but I've also seen some salad dressings by Hughes that are high in calories. They're just marketed well. So if you're going to buy a Hughes salad dressing, make sure that you look at the calories. With any of these companies that I mentioned to you, look at the calories. With any of these condiments, look at the calories. You want less than 30 calories per tablespoon with any of these condiments. But that is my kind of like introduction to all things sauces, dressings, condiments. And I hope that this kind of like exposed you to a lot of great options that can make your diet a lot more interesting. I'm gonna throw out one last thing, because this company isn't everywhere, this grocery store isn't everywhere. Wegmans organic sweet chili sauce. I don't give a damn about the organic on it, but that's what it's called. 2 tablespoons, 40 calories. And guys, if you have a Wegmans sweet chili sauce, OMG. This is my single favorite condiment while on a diet. Like I'm literally like, it's so good. It's so good. Look, I keep 3 bottles in here at my house at any time. What I do is I keep 1 in the fridge, I keep 2 in my pantry. When 1 comes out of the fridge and I see, and I'm taking the other one out and I'm putting it into my fridge from the pantry, I immediately go and order another one. I keep these things in stock. These are a must-have in my house. Now again, not everybody has access to Wegmans, but I just wanted to throw this out there. This is my favorite sauce in the game. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned something. If you listened, you definitely did. Appreciate everybody who's following me here on YouTube. I really love shooting YouTube content. I'm very passionate about it. If you're not following me on Instagram, that's where the majority of my following is. Thank you for watching. Please hit subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. I love being able to put out this kind of content. I love the long format content. I'm gonna go enjoy some chicken nuggets, all right? Peace.